Hi there, Saksham this side from ACE IPM, and in today's video, we are going to talk about a very commonly asked question, which is why the hell are IIMs so expensive? And if in case you were to join one, then how do you finance your education and what are the scholarship options available? So without any further ado, let's get started. Also, just a side note, this video is targeted more towards the IPM aspirants because that is a program wherein you have the highest fee. But even if an MBA aspirant is watching this video, the same reasons apply. So when I talk about IIMs being expensive, it is not on an absolute basis, but rather a relative basis because, in another equally worthy institution, if I talk about them, those are IITs. And over there, if in case you are doing a BTech degree in an IIT, you'd be paying somewhere around 12-13 lakhs for the 4-year degree versus if in case you come to an IIM, you pay somewhere around 15 to 25 lakh for MBA, which is for 2 years, and about 33 to 35 lakhs for an IPM program, which is of about 5 years. So why is it that the programs running in an IIM are so expensive or more expensive when compared to IITs? So the first reason for that is STEM education. Management is not a STEM discipline, and STEM refers to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And STEM education, when we talk about higher education, in that case, STEM education remains the focus of any government as it directly contributes to research and thus human welfare, right? If in case you see the research output of IITs, it will be a lot higher than IIMs, and the researches that they take upon are more social in nature and they are going to have a positive impact on the overall economy. And because of that fact, and because MBA is primarily a career enhancement course, and that is aimed towards increasing your earning capacity, the government does not promote management education as much as they do with the STEM disciplines. And with that stems out the second point, and that pun was intentional, and that is about external funding. See, when I talk about IIMs, they receive initial funding in the form of land grants and setup assistance, but because they're autonomous in nature, post that they're all by themselves and they need to manage all their expenses, and then they have to have a source of income or revenue which becomes the fee of these programs, and that is how they ensure their sustainability. IITs on the other hand receive regular funding and grants from the state government, from the central government, from alumni network and whatnot, all on the account of research output that they generate. Now, the last point being limited batch strength. If in case you check the total capacity of any IIT, it is going to be around 6-8,000 on an average, versus if we talk about IIMs, they're barely touching 1,000. The number of seats offered in these institutions are fairly limited. On top of that, there are not many courses running inside of the institute, so it's barely touching 1,000, and the number isn't so big that unit economics work here. So unit economics does not work in the case of IIMs. The institution still has to maintain the huge campuses, especially the newer ones have campuses of 200 acres. Even the earlier ones have a fairly large sized campus, and they need to maintain that. And they also have to pay for faculty salaries. And because the number of students isn't so high, in that case, the per unit cost of the expense incurred on these things go higher. And that then translates into higher fees as well. So all in all the points that I've mentioned up until now are the contributing factors to these high fees inside of an IIM. Now, this video wasn't about whether this price tag is justified or not, and is it morally ethical or anything of that sort. I also study in an IIM right now and I pay that fee, and I know that's expensive and that gets hard. But the point of this video was to lay down the reasons, the possible reasons why is it so expensive, so you understand the nuances better and you also have a plan ready for yourself as to how do you finance your study. See, the course in itself increases your earning capacity and thus demands an investment from your end. And even though the fee can get expensive, it can get really expensive, but financing options are also available. You can avail no collateral loans from banks, especially in the case of IIMs, it's relatively easier and you don't have to have a security which they take up in order to process the loan, because they offer no collateral loans as well to a certain limit. And then you can also avail certain scholarship options. You have some state sponsored scholarships, then some institutions will have their own scholarship options. So all of that is also there, and I believe that deserves a separate video. So more on that in a future video, wherein I talk about, especially in the case of IPM, the loan options that are available and all the scholarships that are available inside of IPM or by the state or central governments. And if in case you're just looking at the loan part, I have made a video on this earlier. So you can go back to the channel last year and you'll find a video on the education loan process in India. But I think that requires an update. So I'll now make a separate video wherein I talk about all these scholarship options and also these other options to finance your studies. So with that being said, we come to the end of this video. And before that, I'd want you to know that if in case you were preparing for IPM, in that case, you can as well join ACE IPM. The course here is taught by your seniors from IPM. You get a set of 22 booklets for your IPM preparation. You also get mocks that closely align with the actual exam pattern. And on top of this, most importantly, you get unparalleled support from your IPM mentors and potentially your future seniors. And as I mentioned earlier, IIMs can get really expensive, but IIM entrance preparation doesn't have to be. So in that case, we are also super affordable. So you can definitely go on our website and check that out. You will also find a link for the free counseling session down in the description box. If there's something that you want to discuss, we'll be more than happy to help you out. And that's about it. Thanks for joining in. If in case you found the video helpful, please like the video and also share it with your friends who might also find it helpful. And if in case you have any queries or concerns, you can leave it down in the comment section, or you can as well join our Telegram channel wherein we have fruitful discussions about IPM and anything related to that. So that's about it. Thank you and have a good day.